See you later, nerds.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That was an exceedingly odd metamorphosis.
What I described in my unmaking cannot easily...
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Let's do this. Triple kill. Friends, let us finish.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Words of power.
I have punching for you.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Haste.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
The dusk is always ready for a fight.
This isn't the end.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The answer here, Grimstroke can wave clear decently. Legion Commander as well with the overwhelming odds. You have something to temper back that push. At the least, I think that is somewhat of an answer. You have to be a bit cautious going all in, would say, the
10
minion
seconds
armies here for
remaining.
Boom Esports. It's still really open though. You do
5
see the Bloodseeker
seconds
just
remaining.
slide right on through, so it's actually just out there. I don't mind seeing it, would say, for Boom. A Bloodseeker in here with a Wind Ranger, Shackle, Bloodright. Pretty darn good combo. You can get a lot of work done. It's just really good AoE. Right now, Boom, I'd say they've got the Chen to enable this faster playstyle. They've got the heals. We've seen a Chen really save a lot of heroes' lives. You want to pile onto that. You want to look for heroes that play active, play fast, maybe some team fight coming out. In this case, I'd actually say I'm okay with a Sand King for laning purposes. It's a bit tricky against a Grimstroke though, but you can get away with that. And off they go with a CK.
Ooh.
So there's that aggression. It's up there. They're ready to play Casino Night here. Neon, though, they do have some ways of burning through those phantasms, right? Like, again, Grimstroke can kind of melt those illusions down. LC can as well. You have to be a bit careful with how you jump in. But the damage output from Boom is great. The control is mainly single target focused, but they can really focus down on that one hero and kill them fast.
Do love the CK coming up. Shout out to Lupet, one of our sponsors out there today. It's a bad thing to have a gamble, have a double gamble on the CK, right? You just never know what's going to happen. So it's always a bit of fun here. And on Neon, they're going to have to figure out a way to deal with this. The CK is not one of those cores that's easy to deal with, especially once you get to the mid game. Now bring out the Yopaj Kunkka, which is a lot of fun to watch. I'll tell you that, John.
It definitely is. I love it in here up against the CK, up against this instantaneous burst lineup. You've got the rum buff that'll help you last through the damage of Wind Ranger, last through the damage of the CK. You've got great AoE control coming out with the Kunkka. You've got the X to keep that Wind Ranger in its place. It's shaping up pretty nicely here, Neon. I think their lineup's looking pretty solid. We just need to see what they want to bring up on their pause one. Looking at this kind of lineup, you'd want something that can play a bit aggressive, just a bit, maybe help you rack those dual wins. DLC does rotate in. That's one thing for Neon. Something that can fight into the CK as well. Got to be able to deal with that tanky hero Boom. For their part, it's just aggression. They go with the OD. Not a lot of high-end heroes here, Mike, so the OD is going to be able to punish really nicely.
It's a very unique draft here from Boom, isn't it? Like, it's all these heroes. Like, all right, the Chen is popular. Right? We'll leave that out of it. But the Wind Ranger CK OD, not something you're too used to seeing. Especially when you consider they're in the same draft. You start to wonder, where's the control going to come out from for Boom Esports? Like, you've got the Astral, you've got the stun from the CK, and you've got Shackles. I'm just not seeing really reliable kinds of lockdown here, or just control in these big team fights, where if you look at the other side, you've got a Kunkka. He's all the control you need. So it's concerning me just a little bit here for Boom.
Yeah, I think the strangeness of it is it's very different. It's been a while since we've seen OD. It really has, right? He's tapered off Meta for a reason. He can still hold it on with the play you can get with the Astral, but it's a tricky one. Scaling's gonna be interesting to watch out for. Their last pick has to tie it up. Their team fight looks good, but the OD needs something to set him up for that hammer drop. And the Santis Eclipse, you're going to need some control there. The Tide was banned out earlier. That would have been nice. Centaur's gone as well. Could you slide a Mars in here? You probably could if you wanted to. That would assume that Boom is going to run the support Wind Ranger, which it's still fairly open. Whether or not that will be support or, I guess, off in this case. Boom's going to have to show their hand first, though. So no matter what happens here, going to be able to get what they want first. That we're going to have to show their hand.
You know, when you said support Wind Ranger, it kind of reminded me of something. Have you ever heard of support CK, John?
Yeah, I have. I've played it.
10 seconds remaining.
I had a pub game the other day. Had a teammate that went position 4 CK. Rushed Aghanim Scepter. It made me sick, Jonathan. Where do people come up with these terrible ideas? Support CK, I'm gonna rush Aghanim Scepter, and then I'm gonna make a loot of everyone. That's all he did. He didn't say we lost the game, John. We did lose the game. That happened to me. So.
I mean, to be fair, support CK is a thing. You don't rush Ags. No, it is. It used to be you pump the Reality Rift to drag them super close. They do put them more again, so it's going to be support Wind Ranger. Does tie into that team fight. But going back to that point, support CK is actually pretty fun. You've got a great stun, you've got great damage, and Reality Rift, it's a really good pull. If you pump it right. Neon, they go with the TA, so the Kunkka is going elsewhere. It's a safe lane. Yeah, it's safe lane. No, safe lane LC.
Safe lane LC.
JG, Kunkka, a Yapaj TA to tie it up. I love the flex here though, Neon. You get the TA up against the OD. You can still play that lane, but the TA, once you get those side blades up, you can just go back, twack away. Refraction is not going to burn down easily to the Astral. So they're setting themselves...
Like scam fashion. Just, he can't choose a normal position 1. He always has to outdo everyone, and he'll go for the Legion Commander pos 1, which I believe is every 2K MMR pub player dream. Just to run position 1 Legion Commander and have like 500 duel damage.
No, that's not the dream, Mike. You know the dream for every Legion Commander player? Not necessarily like 2K players, but Legion Commander players dream of an Iron Talon to be viable. So they can AFK jungle minute 0. That's the dream, and that's the nightmare all in one. Wow, that Wind Ranger animation's really nice. Didn't see it. Sweet. Such a good arcana. I'm always good hero.
No.
Good hero, Mike. You can't prove wrong. It's one.
Prepare for battle.
One day, if I ever get slacks as their jokes, I'm not even gonna let you say hi. I'm just gonna be like, he's a Wind Ranger player, and I'm just gonna run.
Oh, he's gonna slap me down, 100%. Gonna slap me for that.
If we make it, John.
Yeah. When is that next land, Mike? You know, I haven't seen the outside world in months here.
Yeah, it's been tough, John. It's tough. Who knows when the next... We could do it in my garage if you want. Got some space. We could just get some sponsors, get a prize pool going. Open the garage up, get the Barbie going as well.
Yeah, sounds like a good time. You got a Bunnings nearby?
Of course I do, John.
Oh, that's
What question was that?
30 seconds.
That
to
is
battle.
perfect. Look at this, Mike. You know, we said scam pause 1. Now, see, he's still going to the off lane. Still looking to play aggressive here, so... Neon... Yeah,
aggressive
with a
try.
strong. It's just the Neon playbook, you know? Pull off something different, and they will. Just want to run at you. They know the weakness of the CK and Dream, so he's walking all the way down. They've drew the lines. They don't want to have him die early. They're avoiding it. They read that game.
The battle begins.
I don't blame him. I really like this new announcer pack, by the way. That guy is...
Oh, he is. Such a deep voice. Such a beautiful voice. That's the voice you dream of having, Bud, Mike. Well, not you. You've got a fantastic voice. I've got a very tinny voice, you know? I want it deeper, but this is as deep as I can go.
Oh, this guy has no chill in him.
Right now, John.
It's all the microphone, Mike. It's all the mic.
It is. The bot lane is going to be a tri-lane from Boom Esports so far, and they're going to leave the FBZ Mars up at top by himself. Nope, never mind. They are going to TP and hide on the Wind Ranger. So just dual lanes being run here. And of course, this isn't the lane Skem wanted. He did want to verse the CK in lane. He will not get so lucky. He'll be forced to be up against FBZ and hide.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one if they maintain these lane swaps. Boom has a step up because they have the Chen. We've seen that kind of play before. See if Neon wants to swap around. Doesn't look like they will. They're just going to contend with this lane. Hyde is just going to walk around, of course, play harassment, and FBZ here, you know, he's got that God's Rebuke. He's just going to farm up. It's just going to be relatively static. You're not going to expect too much action. It's a very tanky hero to try and jump here.
Remember 1 year ago when Wind Ranger support meant you got an Orb of Venom? You remember that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So stupid.
And or it got nerfed because of Wind Ranger. Just because of that one hero. I mean, you just go Wind Run, you go up, you right click, on.
Thanks, Wind Ranger players. Ruined everything.
Oh,
Mid lane.
gosh.
Yapaj and Makoto up against each other in that mid lane. So the OD versing the TA. In fact, never mind that 1 second because John Newell is in trouble bot lane. Be right, he'll be able to salve up. As I was saying, this mid matchup, Makoto and Yapaj against each other. Should be a fairly even lane between the two, but it is going to be slightly frustrating for Yapaj considering that he will get Astral every single time Makoto has it off cooldown. I guess he always has the jungle to rely on later on.
Yeah, the one issue here from Mikato is to gap close with the Astral is super risky. Look at that. Yapaj, if he lines up his shots, his side blades are going to do some work. Now, you can't allow yourself to get caught out like that, though. Once your refraction fades, that's sign for Mikato to come in with the Astral, and the damage can pump up. So, a little bit of awareness from Yapaj has to be in play. Really even mid lane. Slight advantage for Yapaj. Of course, that does mean that, again, I mentioned the jungle going to be important. John Uwell's going to have his work cut out for him. He's already having a tough time as it is with his dual lanes. JG, he's finding last hits, but you can see the pressure Kezcute and Dreamusel are pumping in. They're not allowing this lane to be an easy one, and just Kezcute is happy enough to walk up and just get some hits off onto JG.
Kezcute actually blocks in JJ for a second. Yeah, he's got the block off.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Almost did anyway. JG will just eat a tree and walk away. But it is buying a lot of time for Dreamusel. He's having a free lane now. You don't really want this as Neon. You want to make sure he has a very, very tough early game. Trying to get started with the torrent, but there's your Rift coming out into the stun. It's only a 1 second duration. But Dreamusel will continue this chase. It'll be just a bit more harassed, but JG, he's struggling. Not an easy lane for him.
Nah, it's just set to get harder. They have to expend the salves early. He's going to have to ramp up into a bottle to sustain himself in this lane. But you look at Dreamusel's build on the CK. He's actually opting for the early Midas. We've seen this before. So he's not going to go for the early aggressive Echo Saker. Just look for the steady farm and look for the ramp up on that CK.
Rotation out from John Uel, but does miss out on that power rune. It will be an arcane rune going to Makoto. Dreamusel, another Rift and stun thrown out. JG does get the torrent off. Nice dodge from Dreamusel. Now getting a nice crit there, but that'll be it. I think they're very happy to just leave him on this kind of low HP pool, knowing that he can't do anything.
Yeah, it's it means JG can't quite come in to really commit in the Tidebringer. I mean, if he does, there's enough mana here for a Reality Rift, Dragon Pact, and he's gone. So, a tenuous spot for JG, and that just means that his progression's going to be slowing down a bit. Lots of good impact here from Kezcute. Now he's got that Frost creep.
Radiant's
Doing really well in the jungle. This is one issue when you don't block your own camps. The Chen has a good time.
Does. Top lane, bit of a play here from Play Hard, but no, he can't get in range to get the Inkswell to connect.
See you later, nerds.
I've got to say, looking back up towards the top lane, Skim is having a very nice time. I thought it would be a bit tougher on him up against FBZ. Mind you, FBZ is also farming extremely well on this Mars, basically free farming at this stage. But Skem is having an almost decent time in comparison to FBZ's farm, just a few last hits behind.
That's going to set him up for a really quick build-up and a really quick level 6.
So, first blood going to be achieved. Play hard. Makes the rotation, and now they're going to try onto Kezcute. Don't really have any more stuns to fly out on this Chen, so he will be fine. But you got the main target, which was the CK.
Yeah, that's going to offset the build-up into the Midas. You know, just slowing that down a touch, giving JG a bounce back in the lane. Find a couple of last hits. They will have to send someone up top if they want to find some kill ops. But look, this Dreamusel straight onto that JG.
He just salved up, eats a fairy fire. Dreamusel maybe backing off a bit too early. No, he will get the kill. Nice bit of revenge out from Dreamusel. JG will continue to have a pretty rough time on this Kunkka.
Yeah, it's a balancing act. Managed to counteract that earlier gank, and boom, they find themselves with a slight 1k lead now. In control on the map, finding that early farm. The one issue I'm seeing for Boom is the EXP gain for particularly her Wind Ranger support. Not fantastic. Hyde is at level 2. He is pretty much a pos 5. But you don't want to be too far behind. It's a Wind Ranger. He does get some space mid to soak some EXP here, so there is some way of playing catch-up.
Paj is doing a really good job in catching up on the TA. He hasn't really rotated to the jungle too much yet. Now we are at that 7-minute mark, so of course he will do so. Try and get those neutral items up. Just sitting behind the Mars. On lane. FBZ rotation in with the arena out, but he does not secure a kill. And Skem is there with the jewel now.
Has been killed.
Not able to get in range to really jewel anyone, and obviously doesn't want to jewel FBZ, but Makoto now. Gonna rotate in. The John UL, and they do get the kill.
Yeah, the simple pickup there for Boom. A bit of a surprising move. Playhard TP'd out of the lane up top. Just to soak some EXP, I guess. He doesn't really have anyone there, but look at this massive stack for Yapaj. And that's how he's playing catch-up. His supports have created a ton of space. There were wards from Boom watching this, but they didn't have the opportunity to clear those stacks out for themselves.
JG looking to find down bot lane, doesn't connect with the Torrent, but Skem does manage to get the jewel off on time into Makoto, but they don't have the damage to finish him off while the jewel is still going.
Dire's middle tower.
Still a very, very important kill.
Radiant's top tower.
Sure, Neon will be happy regardless of the jewel damage.
Oh yeah, it's still an important pickup. They slow down the OD. OD is not a particularly fast flash farmer. So the more he dies, the more his timing is offset. It's not a good sign. It's, you know, you've got the OD, you've got the CK. Both of these heroes need a good amount of farm to really get running.
Absolutely. There yet on your OD, just trying to work towards the 4-star. On the quite a bit behind your Page right now, just 1.1k in fact. Page will just continue working towards the Desolator. Your standard TA build-up, and at this point you start to question whether they can slow him down. Like, he's always going to have the jungle.
You'd expect Boom to be a bit faster. They have the Chen, but their other heroes are just so much slower. So Neon are maximizing this time. They've got the Midas on Dreamocell, which is fantastic. Now he can actually kill one creep instantly at the least. They've got the mech on Kescute. This is a bigger spike. So you've got mech ready, you've got Hand of God ready. If you did choose a fight, that's a lot of regen Neon's going to have to try to burn through.
Nice little arena out from FBZ down at the bot lane, and Makoto will happily take the kill on the OD, but now Playhard is going to rotate in with Skem from the side, going after FBZ, but can the Inkswell land? Not quite. Skem gives up on it and goes mid instead, where Yopaj is in massive trouble, but look at those overwhelming odds. Gets a lot of creeps, goes for the jewel attempt. It's not going to work out. He is completely surrounded and is going to go down. Not great news for Neon, but it's a fantastic fight for Boom Esports.
Oh yeah, they're really making it work. It's that mech in play for Kescute. It's just keeping them all alive. He doesn't even have to expend a Hand of God. He's got that ready. He doesn't have the mana. Might be an issue down the line, but that sustain is starting to kick in. 3k lead all of a sudden for Boom, and they're starting to approach that point where they do reach a power spike. It's an Ags rush as well for Makoto. They clear out that bot tier 1. And once you've got this Ags up on the OD, he can get so much more control, so much more damage out. And that without an early pipe or early BKBs, then the OD is going to do a lot of work in these engagements.
It certainly is.
Illusion.
Kodo slowly working his way there, does pick up the point booster. If they can keep this up, Boom Esports, it's looking to be a pretty easy game for them. Nobody's being slowed down whatsoever. We know what these CKs can do once they hit that mid-game stage with a bit of farm. Pretty easy game for them. He is going to the SNY build, which does indicate he wants to be able to find his team. Going back up to defend that T1 tower. But rotations in. John Newell, Phantasm going to be expended, but they know the CK's there. BZ also showing up now on the Mars. 5 heroes here from Nick. I mean, they've got the Deso, so they just want to commit to the T1.
Yeah, it's going to go really quick. It's already fairly low. Would have wanted to reveal that item a bit better, but they don't find the opportunity. They're still on the hunt, though. This is opening up a lot of space for Boom. Look at them. They're grouped up mid. They're going to go for that mid-tier one
Radiant's
themselves.
middle tower is under attack.
Yeah.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower
Big
is under
smoke
attack.
rotation coming in. Neon looking for a good duel for Scam. Scam gonna show himself, and JG unable to get anyone with the X. It's just not what you want as a 5-man rotation. If you can't at least punish one hero, not good news, but they might try to force the team fight in this mid-tier 1 tower.
Dire's structures are fortified.
They are. Boom has everyone up, but they're not TPing in. They are waiting. Team might get swamped and does. Get swamped now. Scam will go for an immediate duel, but the Astral Prisoner will save him with the bone supply in. Another unsuccessful duel as FBZ does go down, but there's your Sanity's Eclipse being dropped onto Yokaj, and he will die. So will another in the form of Playhard, and now another Astral is going to catch out Legion Commander. And that is a 1-for-4 trade and a tier 1 mid tower going down.
Oh, that was an ugly fight for Neon. They keep forcing the 5-man, but Boom is there to
Radiant's
punish.
middle tower
That was
has fallen.
from top. This is their entire journey. Top tier 1, they couldn't find anyone. Go around the jungle, smoke down mid, not catching anyone in the defense, go for a push, and then get punished by losing 4 heroes. So Boom right on top, and they're hunting for more.
Oh, Dreamer so he's going for the full team wipe. JG, the only one to get out of that team fight alive, does go down.
Rewarded.
That was the 5th kill for Boom Esports. They're looking very, very confident now. 6k net worth lead. It's hard to slow them down at this point, especially considering Dreamer Soul is
Radiant's
just about
top
500-600
tower is
gold
under
of
attack.
having the full SNY.
Oh yeah, and once you've got that up on the CK, his presence shoots up, his damage shoots up. And, I mean, this Desolator from Yopaj is great. He needs to blink. They really do need a blink on Yopaj, and I'd say even Scam gonna need to jump in if they want to duel with him. He needs to start these fights, but with the Ags up on Mikado, if you don't duel Mikado, then you saw it in the last fight, but he Astral imprisons the dual target. You're not getting anything from that.
Probably not. Like Donyuel has been spotted out, Dreamer Soul will happily take the free kill and deny the D ward that he was trying to initially go for. Of course, with that Phantasm, you can just use to escalate and farm. That was one of the better changes of the CK, right? Lowering that Phantasm cooldown was a very long cooldown before for no apparent reason. Now it's a bit better.
Yeah, it's much more easy to manage. The number of Phantasms down is a bit of a trade-off, but I think the better uptime is a bigger win. Still, there's that blink up for Yopaj, so they can go close the gap, get some damage off fast. Issue is follow-up after that. They're definitely going to need someone to help them lock them in. And at this point, you start to look at BKBs. Yopaj is queuing his up next. That will remove Mikado's presence. That will remove the OD's damage and control. So really important you start looking at those BKBs coming up next.
Dire are scanning.
S and Y. Kescute already having the mech medallion up, so just so much sustain from the Chen. Paj though does get his blink up now on that TA. Also have the Spirit Vessel available on JG. It's going to be a big smoke up from Boom.
That is under a ward though.
Wants to, that's problematic. So they should know, can they counter initiate here, Neon? They're going to break the smoke. JG is going to run straight into him.